Locals Only with John Bowe.
Radio Nova.
Radio Nova, this is Locals Only. This is where we showcase some of Ireland's up-and-coming musical talent. It is great to have Ultan Conlon here in studio with me right now. Ultan is from Galway, travelled all the way up from Galway today, and he's here with us live in the studio. Ultan, thanks for coming into Nova.
Thanks for having me, John. Great to be here.
It is fantastic. And I was listening to your CD, so we've heard your song off air. It sounds amazing, sounds really good. How long have you been performing as a solo singer? Have you got a band, or are you just on your own?
I sometimes play with a band. It depends on what it calls for, really. I do a lot of gigs on my own as well, but I have a full band as well. It depends if I can bring them or not, you know. Okay. Session guys and that, but it's under my own name, and I write all my own songs.
And where did the love of music come from for you?
Oh God, a long way back. Ever since I was a little toddler, I was obsessed with guitars. I used to see them in the local shop window and kind of have my face to the glass. And an older cousin of mine had an electric guitar, and from a very early age, I was kind of obsessed with it. So when I was a teenager, I started, and
really?
No looking back.
And are you very particular in the type of instrument that you invest in? Like the one you have there looks fairly nice.
Yeah, this is a Gibson acoustic guitar, which is a really nice guitar. And I've got a Taylor acoustic as well, but I'm primarily an acoustic guitar player. And
when you go into a shop now and you want to buy that, is that second hand, or did you buy it in a...
Well, actually, I'm glad to give this a plug. There's a shop in Dublin here called Some Neck Guitars, and he does second-hand guitars and a lot of vintage stuff. This is about 6 years old, but his name is Owen, and he's a great guy to deal with.
What's the name of the place again?
Some Neck Guitars.
Some Neck Guitars.
Is it Ainger Street?
Ainger Street, yeah.
Ainger Street, Some Neck Guitars. And I'd be delighted to give Owen a plug, because I bought this about 6 months ago there. And it's a gorgeous guitar, you know. Yeah, no, it looks nice. I saw it when you were bringing it into the studio. And what influences would you be into now? What music have you got listening to in your car, or on your iPhone, or your phone, or whatever? Well, actually, in the car, most places I just listen to CDs still in the car. I'm very old school. I was going to say a bit old school. Yeah, I think that makes me very old school. Does it? I like listening to an album. I like investing in one. Yeah. And putting it on for a couple of weeks in the car. There's one I have on at the minute by a band called Cherry Ghost. Okay. They're an English band. It's their third album, and I'm kind of hooked on that at the minute. It's like reading a good novel or something, you know. I just keep putting it on for the last few weeks. And you know, look, you're right, really, because I think the day of the album is dying now. You know, God, don't say that. I love. Well, no, there are people that listen to them, but there's so many downloads now that you can just. It's too easy just to go in and you hear a song on the radio. So, well, who's singing that? And then you hear it, and you just go in and get that track. You can go in, and I think a lot of the younger people today are doing that. But I think some of the older generation are still listening to albums. Maybe I'd like to think younger people coming up as well still like albums. You know. There's some people it's fantastic. Out there, but there is so much, like, it's all sound bites anymore, isn't it? I mean, we turn on our computer and we watch 10 seconds of a video and we scroll down to the next thing. So yes, and when you go back to and when you go back to the 80s, remember when Live Aid was on and Dire Straits were on with Money for Nothing, the video for that. Boots on. But remember the videos, you'd watch the videos at MTV. Oh God, yeah. MTV now is, I mean, I don't even know what it is. Well, they're showing all these shows or programs, you know, stuff that's on it at night. I don't even know half the stuff is, and it's not nothing to do with music anymore. It's not music television, is it? No, it's not music. It should really, the main MTV channel should be showing music videos, you know, that's what it should be. That's what it's called, MTV, isn't it? Music. Now, they have other channels, because of the digital age, they have all these other things, MTV and everything like this, but really MTV should be showing. All I see is Catfish. That's the show. Every time I turn on MTV, Catfish is on. Oh, that's another night's work. Yeah. I think, there's so much stuff out there now, it's impossible to keep up with it all, isn't it? It's so hard. It's a very fast moving world, you know. But we have you here, and you know, you have made the journey all the way from Galway today. We really appreciate it, and you're going to play something for us first. What are you going to do? I'm going to play this track. It's called In the Mad, and this is the last single I had out. The next one I think you're going to play on CD after this, but this was the previous single. Okay, In the Mad from Ultan Conlon. This is Locals Only on Nova.
It's cold and lonely and my mind is bruised. It's been such a long time since the screws came loose. Now I've got time, for there are no lines say I can't return. I live in the mad. It's wild and desolate in this no-hope land. You could come for me. I'm still that man, the one on bended knee. Now we got the place and the pennies saved. Come on, let's see your smile on that grimace face, and turn this old love into something new. Let me start by saying I'm still in love with you. In dreams we walk a million miles from convention and thought. In dreams we will be still young and free to plug your heartstrings. I'll quote for you poetry and songs of love so cruel. Now many years have passed and I've traveled alone. I've gone so far, I've made this road my home. But I dreamt last night as you lay by my side that you smiled at me with pride. In dreams we live amongst the truths that never did. In dreams we will be still young and free.
Radio Nova, locals only, and we are live here every Sunday evening between 6 and 7, updating you with all the latest bands and singers in Ireland. And remember, if you're a solo singer out there, or if you have a band and you'd like to come on this show, why don't you send my producer, Annie at Nova, an email and sort of attach a song and tell us a little bit about yourselves, and we'd love to hear from you. Annie at Nova.ie. Now, we have Ultan Conlon here in studio with us right now. That was his song, I Am Mad or In the Mad?
In the Mad.
In the Mad,
yeah.
Okay. You supported Eddie Reader. Was she Fairground Attraction?
Eddie was the singer with Fairground Attraction, yeah, and she's a solo artist now, and a very...
Must have been perfect.
It was absolutely, yeah, it's got to be perfect. Yeah.
You must have learned a lot from her, because she's very experienced, of course, from Scotland, and that band were huge back in 1988. I remember when that song came out, and it was a great song. Went straight to #1 in the UK charts.
I actually heard it last night. I was driving home pretty late. It was on, I think it was Midlands 103. I was driving through the country, and I heard it, and it sounds really fresh still, you know.
I mean, the chorus, she sings the chorus quite a lot in the song, but the whole song is very well put together. Great structure in it.
Yeah, it's a good song.
The lyrics are good.
It's a really good song. She's fantastic live in her band as well, so that tour was a great experience, because I got to play in front of really big audiences and in nice big theatres, and kind of just good for the craft.
How many people were going to see her?
It varied. There were some smaller places around the country. I think the smallest would have been about 250 and the largest maybe 600.
Wow.
Now she did Vicar Street as well. I didn't get to do that one, unfortunately, but there must have been nearly 1,000 at that. So
wow.
Yeah, she's got a good following in Ireland.
And when you were coming out on stage now, before she went on, how did you feel? What were you feeling like?
I felt nervous. That's how I get before I do a gig, you know.
And how do you deal with your nerves?
I used to drink a lot before that.
Did you really? Yeah.
I'm only joking.
Okay.
So, drink is one way of doing it, I guess, but no, I don't do that. I just I like to be on my own for maybe 20 minutes before it, you know.
Yeah.
Gather myself. But it is a nerve-wracking thing. But once you get out there, then you know, you get the opposite. You get quite excited.
And would you remember all the words of your songs, or do you have the songs written out? Because there are a lot of singers that do that. Some of them, they have it down at their feet. You see it on the stage. Really? They have the songs on different pages.
That would make me nervous.
Yeah.
No, I know them all, yeah. I think when I write a song, it takes quite a while, so you keep going over it and over it in your head.
Well, that's probably because you wrote the song, but let's say you're in a band and the lead singer writes all the material, let's say, for example, and you're the drummer or whatever, let's say, you mightn't remember all the words, do you know what I mean?
The drummer would be shouting them out of them. That wouldn't do.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make me quite nervous if I had cheat sheets on the ground or something. I actually tried
I've tried
that years ago at a charity gig. I had to do a cover song, and I had the page in front of me with the lyrics because I wasn't prepared, and the lights all came up and the page just went kind of very shiny and I couldn't read anything.
Right.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Or you could slip on it as well.
Horrendous experience.
Okay. Well, listen, Ultan, it's great having you here. I know you have a few dates coming up in October, and the song that we're going to hear next, is that the one that's out in mid-September, is it?
Yeah, it was going to be mid-September. Okay. I'm actually waiting on a video that's been edited for it, so I'm going to push it back a little. I haven't set a date, but it'll be kind of end of September, early October.
We can wait that long?
Yeah, and I'll keep people updated on my Facebook page and website and Twitter. And I will have a gig up in Dublin, which, again, I haven't booked yet.
How are you getting the gigs abroad? I see you have a few in Vienna and Cologne and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I just... contacts I've made, and I did a gig in Vienna 2 years ago. In that venue, I was a support act, and the promoters asked me back, so I'm doing my own gig there. And Cologne is a house concert that's meant to be really good. I've heard it's a great concert, and that's a great avenue to go down in Europe, especially house concerts. Okay. People come and pay in, and they sit and listen, and often buy CDs. So it's a great platform for a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, there's a few of them going on here. I get invited the odd time outside of Dublin more so than
there's been a couple in Galway. There's one in Gort I've done twice outside Galway, and it's just been brilliant. You get maybe 40 people that come along and they bring some food and they all sit and, like I said, they sit and listen and they...
You need a big house. You need a big house.
Yeah, you can do it in smaller houses as well. You'd be surprised. But it is a great platform, you know, and I think the performer really enjoys it, and so do the people coming. So great. Good idea. I hope they catch on a bit more.
Yeah, and do you have anyone looking after you management-wise, or do you do all the bookings yourself?
I do a lot of it myself. Intermittently, I've gotten help in the past, but I mainly do it myself, really, you know.
Yeah.
Unless somebody comes along now, that would be...
I got an email just as I was talking to you there from Will in Castleknock, and he was just coming back on what we were just saying there about MTV. Yeah, he agrees. Yeah, he says, what the hell's happened like to MTV, the channel? Like, they don't show music videos at all. Like, he says he remembers the days of Ray Cokes and Christiana Backer, who were the VJs back then. I think I remember Ray Cokes. Can't remember her too. Yeah, the video jocks. That's what they were called. Yeah, and they used to introduce all the songs, but they don't do that anymore. Yeah. I'm getting old. That's what it is. Getting old. But listen, thanks for coming in. It's fantastic having you here. Facebook and Twitter. Where can we go to find out about you?
Just ultanconlon.com is probably the best place, and then you can find my Facebook from there and Twitter. It's all right on the homepage.
Fantastic. Okay,
so that'll be great.
And also then the gig that's coming up. What's the next gig you have? Have you anything coming up in between now and Christmas, or?
I do, just nothing. There's a couple of bits in Galway, all right, but nationwide I'm going to book a few bits in October. I'm actually going to be going out with a band from Galway called the Bluebirds. There's 3 female singers, and they're a lovely female harmony group.
Okay, good.
And they're going to be joining me on my songs. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Great.
But it's just all been put together at the moment. So if people want to kind of click on the Facebook, I'll keep them updated.
Excellent.
That'll all be happening between now and Christmas.
Ultan, thanks for coming in.
John, thanks for
Locals Only, and safe journey back to Galway. Okay, we're going to be talking to Roisin Dwyer. She's got the Hot Press Band of the Week next here at Nova.
Locals Only with John Bowe.
Radio Nova.
Now, before we talk to Roisin Dwyer from Hot Press, who's on the phone right now, we're going to play Ultan Conlon's single that's going to be coming out. He has put back the release date of that until the end of September because he's hoping to get a video. This is The Golden Sands here on Radio Nova.
Going nowhere, homeward, maybe through the town. A day I knew nothing about, one that turned my world upside down. I spied you there amongst the crowd. unseen. Come sweep me off of my feet. You are my love, be it brown or right. Love I have to hide. My hunger grows, begins to move with me, like a moth to a flame. It's nature I'll blame. Stay away from the light, stay away from the light. Was it on a day you were going nowhere? Clouds were rolling over the sky. A day you knew nothing about. This one changed your whole life. You saw a man, he took your breath away. Now you still hold it deep inside. I see you smile and you seem just fine, but there's a hurricane blowing inside. You are a bird without flight. This love you have to hide. Your hunger grows, begins to wear you down. You wait for the day, but it's not coming round. It was on a day I was so much younger in the summertime. A day I now know all about. This one shaped my whole life. I laid upon the golden sands with the warm breeze over me. I am that grain that blew away. You were the golden sands on the beach. You are my love throughout this life. Warmth and tenderness inside. No words come near. Like a moth to a flame, they will burn just the same. Back into the light, straight into your arms tonight.
Radio Nova, this is Locals Only. That is Ultan Conlon from Galway. We heard his track live in studio in the Mad, and there's the Golden Sands. You can check out Ultan Conlon on Facebook and Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and you can download his songs from the various locations, SoundCloud and all that sort of stuff as well.
Radio Nova.